All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to some more Stormworks Build and Rescue. Let's see, in the last few videos, we have been trying to build a submarine. This submarine right here. And I tested it. Everything seems to be working good. So the next step will be, as far as the submarine goes, just finishing the connections. Adding a button for the motor, adding a button so it can go up and down, maybe adding a reverse button, and then just hooking up the life support. And then what we'll need to do is probably put some equipment in here and some cameras and that. Yeah, and then yeah, we'll be ready. We'll be ready. This thing will be ready to explore the depths of the ocean. So, kind of a short day today for the kids at school, so I don't really have a lot of time to get into. It's going to take a little bit to put the touch screens in, to get the Lua working, and to test all that. We're going to be doing that later on. It's the weekend. So, what I'm going to do is going to get a new vehicle. Now, for those of you who have been watching, when they changed the buoyancy, we'll just say that, when they changed the buoyancy, we took this ship, which was our research ship, and I had to make it a lot wider, way wider than it was, right, just to make it work. So this is a far larger. I'll just spawn it in just so we can see. This is a far larger version of the other research ship. It's not the maximum size that we can fit, right? The maximum size would be the drill ship. But yeah, it sits low in the water, and then why? Well, because it has. So we need to change the vents for the engines, right? On this one, we haven't done too much to it. I'll just show you here. It can hold, yeah, over 200,000 liters of fuel, which is 50 or 60,000 more. And that's why it sits extremely low in the water. So what I want to do is I just want to change this up a little bit. Not too sure yet how I want to redesign this. We're not going to redesign the displacement. Like, for me, that's fine. It's low to the water, sure. In big waves will probably be crashing over the back of the ship, right? But that's natural. It's not going to sink. But what I'd like to do is just give it more of a kind of a cleaner appearance. Because what we need to do is, let's see here, we'll delete this. Yeah, we'll just get rid of these buttons for now. This is just to fill up the tank down below, which we're also going to have to redesign. Right, this was our spare. Oh yeah, that's where the winch was. This was our spare tank. It's got 100,000 liter capacity. But I suspect if we fill that up as well, we're probably not going to have enough room. Probably not going to have enough room for much else. Right, so this boat here is awesome. I really like it. But we're going to be getting rid of it. The lifeboat. It works. It floats. It's really fast. I think it's electric. So it doesn't have much for battery, right? This is something we'll have to, one of these days, I'm going to have to check out and just make it a bit better. But yeah, so for now, what we're going to do is we're just going to get rid of this. We're going to leave these two man cranes on the side, and eventually we'll change those to something else. For now, we're just going to patch the hull. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to take the selection grid. resize it here. And we're going to get rid of all this. Let's see, we'll get rid of that, I think. So we just cut that out of the way. And we'll delete that. We're going to have to change, I think, the location of this. This is our fire suppression system. Right, so there's still a few hours here. Still a few hours of work that needs to be done. And then what I want to do is I want to... So we go to the selection grid. We clear the content. And then what we do is we say load content. And that's how we load our submarine in, another vessel onto the vessel. So what I want to do is I just want to see, like... That's center there. That's pretty good. Maybe I won't have to And then of course we're going to need a crane, right? So let's just say for now, let's paste it in there, and I'm pasting it in the air a little bit, and then that way I could just grab it again, right? If I need to lower it or whatever, I can manipulate it, and then let's spawn it in. It'll drop down onto the back of the ship, and I just want to see how badly it makes this thing list. Not too bad. Not too bad, actually. Could be worse. Could be worse. Right, the main issue here is we're displacing it's the fuel that we have in this one. But I want to use this one. I want to fill it up with uranium because this one here, I think, be close, but this ship here, I believe, can sail to the Arctic. I'm pretty sure if we turn down the speed a little bit and we just, go slow, I'm pretty sure we can make it all the way to the Arctic with this ship. And we're going to try that Friday night or Saturday night, late at night. I'm going to brew some coffee and sit here, and I'm going to see if I can sail this thing all the way to the Arctic. I think that would be really cool. Or I have the freighter, not the freighter, the tanker ship. I can always convert that into a uranium tanker. So yeah, that's all right. Now we're basically right on the water. Now with this one, with the submarine on here, we are right on the water. So again, to me, that's not a worry. I know as soon as the waves pick up, they'll be crashing over the back of this, but I think that's pretty natural. Most big ships, they kind of have an area where the water kind of just crashes over, right? So I don't know, the only way that we can increase the buoyancy is if we change either I add another, like, basically at this point it would be the height of the ship, right? If I want to increase the buoyancy, I need to add more air to the ship. So that way it doesn't sit so low in the water, or decrease the size of the tank. So I'm not 100%. I mean, the other thing I can do is I can get rid of the railing here. I can get rid of the railing. Now water is still going to be crashing. Oops. Water is still going to be crashing over top of the back of the vessel. Do I want to do that? Yeah, let's see. Just wondering how far back I want to go with this. Maybe we'll keep these winches at the very back. But I can always raise the deck up here a little bit. Right, I can always do this. Let's see here. And just make like a walkway. Come down to about there. I just have to be careful because these cranes move, even though when there's the velocity and all this stuff, they're not supposed to move. They move. So you still have to be careful. That's the one thing that I'm really curious about with the space shuttle. I want to build an arm in the space shuttle that lets us like do stuff. My concern is it's going to start moving while we're heading to space, and if that's the case, it'll destroy us while we're in transit. So yeah, so we could do something like this. I'm not too sure what I'm thinking here. Then how would we get on and off the ship? On and off the vessel? Probably same thing. We'll probably just keep this profile, but just raise it up. Right, we do something like that and just make a. We'll have to get rid of this here. Just make a corridor. Let's just go to there for now. Yeah, so we can do that. Where did we do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if this will add to. Did I make it? One more. One more than the door. I don't know if this will add to the buoyancy. I'm hoping it will a little bit. And of course, we'll have doors. We'll have windows in here and doors, and then that way we can just see the deck here. And I'll have to take our sign and move it up out of the water. So now we have a corridor here. We'll have to put lights and stuff in. We'll see how that looks here. Not gonna lie, that submarine is heavy, 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 heavy. Absolutely heavy. But once it's off the ship, that is heavy, heavy, heavy. And then what we need to build a crane. So let's see what the take a slider here. We don't want to use the compact slider for this. So what I'll do is I'll build it. I'll build it there. Okay, negative's going that way. We'll build it on the end, and then that way we can see, kind of in like real time or whatever, how much pressure it puts on the rear of the vehicle. I don't like that, actually. Let's embed it here. And I don't think we need to go that far. We could probably go to there. Where are we here? We are 1, 2, 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. All right. So right, for something this big, we do want to use these double. So we want this thing to, let's see here. It's going to be something like that. Oh, are they? Look at that. Let's extend this one. Oh, that's not going to work. Has to be embedded. Like that. What's going on here? I don't know what's going on here today. Something's going on. Something weird. It's that Stormworks again. I tell you, it's that Stormworks again. All right. And then negative is back. I'm pretty sure. Is that our... Yeah. Okay. So now should be able to line this up. Let's see if we come up about that high. Now we're not going to be able to use magnets. The secret to getting this to work is going to be connectors. So if that's the crane, if it stops there, it still needs to... Let me see here. So we have sliding connector track. So I want to see this. What is it here? These. these gripper things, right? Now the thing is how do we... these are going to have to come all the way to the back of the ship, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're going to have to get rid of these man cranes. Unfortunately. Oops. We'll have to change the location. Right, and this is going to have to come right to the end of the ship here. So let's just get rid of this for now. Oops. Did I do that on the inside? No. And again, they're around the edges of this stuff, just so it doesn't look so blocky. Jeepers. I don't know if I should do this or if I should just use the deep pockets, because deep pockets is already has the well in the center. I could just get rid of the wellhead. And then we could just raise this and lower this in the center of deep pockets. That might be the thing. That might be the way to go. Instead of trying to get this sort of figured out this way. That would be a lot of work to get deep pockets kind of. But that ship has the capacity. That ship actually could make it to the Arctic. No problems. I mean, that thing can carry, its displacement is massive, massive, massive. All right, so then what we're going to do here is attempt to, let's see, I'll put a block here, and we'll put a block here. And I want to like I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure how this. We'll have to test it, right? We'll have to do some tests here. So I think that it's come to there, and then do that like that. And then we'll merge these two together. All right. Something like that. And then on here, oh boy. I just don't think, I don't know, but I just don't think this is going to have the, let's see here, let's see it. What we need is this. We need the large connector. And then on here, we need a winch. Obviously, it's going to have to be a large winch. Let's see if... Where do I got to go to move this to the front here? Now, to lift this thing out of the water is going to... It's going to cause this ship to list a lot. So probably what I'll need to do is convert the front into a ballast tank. And we'll have to fill this up with water so that way it can offset the weight of the submarine. I think that's going to be the only... All right, so then we'll take another connector. And then we'll take the selection grid and we will clear the content. Resize it. Paste that there. Then we need a cable. Hold on a second here. We're going to need 2 winches for this. It's so heavy. So maybe we'll put one on this side and one on this side. All right, that works. And then we'll delete that. We'll go back to our selection grid. And it's going to have to be... Let's move that down a little bit. We'll paste that there. Then we'll take 2 of these cable connectors. All right, and then we go into our logic. Draw a rope. I don't know why I'm using cable. Seems to be stronger, I guess. So then, let's see, where do I want the controls? What would be a good place to have the controls? Maybe temporarily, we'll just have a seat. Uh-oh. Oh, my keyboard is dying. No, keyboard! You want to live. You want to live, keyboard. Don't die on me. Don't die on me. Alright, it's a good thing I have rechargeable batteries. Let's see, does that work? Oh yes, just enough, just enough. That's right. You don't want to die on me. Okay, what's going on here? Why won't you place? Ah, that's what I said. That's right. I said, why won't you place it? Now you place it. Okay, so now what we want to do is let's hook up some of the logic. Let's say W and S can be the... Oh, this is up and down. So what do we have here? We have 1 can be up. Better make sure it's... and 2 will be down. That's hockey 4. 2 will be down. Okay, and we can do the same for oh, wrong seat. I'm looking at all these lights. Look at that. We're going to be deleting a lot of those lights too, thankfully. Okay, and then we'll say. So let's see. Better update this. Slider up. What's a slider down, and then hotkey 3 will be winch down, and hotkey 4 will be winch up. All right, so we need number 3, which is going to be winch down, winch down. Hotkey 4 will be winch up. And then we need to turn on the connector. Which I think we just need to do with one connected magnet toggle. Is that right? To send to the connected anchor. This is on off to send to the connected anchor. I'll have to check that out. I always get that confused here. On off received, connected. So I can just hook those up. On off sent, number signal to send to a connected magnet. I don't know what all that is, so I'll have to check that out too. Okay, so that should be that. Let's just test this out. Before we go too far ahead of ourselves. Right, we got to get this figured out, and then we'll go back to the submarine. I could put all the systems in. And then what I'll do is I'll put the submarine back on. Yeah, you see how low we are? We're already so low that the rear of the ship is sinking in the water. So this vessel, as cool as it is, oh, that's neat. Might not work. Might not work. So that's the slider. And then, oh, we want to turn it on and off, don't we? We want to be able to turn this on and off. So what buttons do we have left here? Where's the seat? Yeah, I think unfortunately this isn't going to work. But what we can do is we can test hotkey number 5 can be the data to send to the connected anchor. Okay, and then this data to send to the connected anchor, and magnet enables connector's magnet when receiving an on signal. Let's see. Can't remember how that works. So yeah, I could just tell right now that this vehicle here does not have the displacement for the submarine. So we are going to have to take deep pockets and figure it out. But in the meantime, I want to figure out how to connect this magnet. send to the connected anchor. This here is to receive from the connected anchor. That's not the one we want. I'm pretty sure it's this one here. Data to send to the connected anchor. But then how did I do this here? Let's check the magnets. How did I do that? The magnet goes to there, and then that goes to there. Is that right? The magnet goes to there. And that one goes, no. How do I do this here? Connect to another anchor, which we don't want. We just need that. Enables the receiving. Okay, so it just has to go to there. This has to go to there. And then this on off to send to the connected anchor. Oh, why do I have the up? Uh-oh. Jeez, I forgot my own controls here. Where are we here? It's so confusing with all this logic. This is the submarine. That's what's confusing me. So what was up and down on the winch? It was hotkey 4 is up. Where are we here? Hotkey 4. All right. That should be that. And then if I press 5, the magnet should turn on. I hope. No, it's not turning on. Ooh, that's fast. My goodness. All right. Why is this not working? Oh, I see. Maybe that's why. Obviously, this connection here isn't going to work. It has to get power through the cable. Maybe that's why it's not working. So we'll have to, oh yeah, there it is. We're going to have to turn this research ship into something else because it just doesn't have the displacement unless I make it wider and all that stuff, which I don't really want to do. I don't really want to do it. No. So we will say new vehicle, yes, because I don't think I saved that. And then let's load in the drill ship. Deep pockets. All right. Now this ship. Whoa, that's either way it's a lot of work, right? Either way it's a lot of work. Like now I'm trying to get motivated. It's a lot. It's going to be a lot of work trying to convert this thing around. Let's just spawn it in and see how it sits. should be fixed. But it's got the opening in the middle, right? So what I'll do is I'll get rid of the drill on it. Yeah, you see how it's in this one sits? Oh, probably because it's empty. But this one sits pretty good. So this is going to be our, yeah, this is going to be our, the one. We'll keep the habitat modules on the rear. And we'll likely keep the cranes. Well, I can't just delete this as a... All right, so now we start the painful work of... Where's the selection grid here? Start the painful work of converting. All right, so we'll cut that. And then we'll clear the content. And then we'll go over here to this side here. We'll cut that out. And then we will clear the content. And we'll come here into the middle. And we'll have to resize the grid. Yeah, we'll have to there essentially. That's all of that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because we don't need any of that, so then we'll cut that out. And we will clear that. So I'm just going to save this right now as our sub carrier. We'll just save it like that. I got to go through. All this pipe work needs to be deleted, right? All that. That, and then of course we had these little sub tanks in here. This was a fun build. I really had a lot of fun. It's a shame that it could only get so much oil at a time, but this thing is a lot of fun. And I'll have to go through and I'll have to fix it a little bit, just with the new changes. It doesn't quite sit. It sits, but it doesn't quite sit, right? Let's spawn it again. So because all the weight is in here, the engines are back here, and the fuel is back here. So what I need to do is I just need to redistribute the weight just a little bit. Oh yeah, look at how high it comes out of the water. It just whoosh. Yeah. This ship here will go to the Arctic. Now there's more weight in the front, seems like, than in the back. What, it's slow, right? Our tanks. These tanks here. This ship here could be I could convert this into a I could convert it into a supply ship, I guess. Lots of things. But this was a really good haul. I still have some plans for it, for this hull. But it already has the middle of it out. So for me, we can just raise and lower, right? We can just raise and lower the submarine in here. And we'll need like an area to hold the uranium and that kind of stuff. And I really feel like we'll be able to do that. It's gonna take a little bit of motivation here to kind of get this ship sort of working here. Let's see. Let's get rid of these. Decommission these tanks. I actually think this is all up. This is all up. The tanks are all up. Is there a tank over here too? Yeah, this one here. Decommission that. Right, eventually we can have a tank that stores diesel for the sub. We can have a tank that stores jet fuel for the helicopter. I'm going to keep these cranes here with the magnets on them. I think they'll be handy. We don't need the slurry pumps anymore. Yeah, I think just rather than trying to design a brand new hull, in this case, it's probably easier just to renovate what we got. That's right, and then the slurry tanks have to be decommissioned. Yeah, this was a fun build. Very challenging. I'm nowhere near done with the drill ship. There's still technology that needs to go in here. These were our environment station here. Right, and then this way what I can do is I can have more control over how I raise and lower the submarine into the water. It'll be a lot easier to raise it and lower it rather than trying to like scoop it out of the water. I can just come right in here into the middle of it. Easy peasy. Just going to be a matter of it'll be a few days renovating this ship and bringing it around, or one day. We'll see one late night. What's this here? These winches for now, and we'll replace them. Yeah, and then I can just come right up in the middle here, hook it up, and I can just pull it right out of the water. And we'll have to find a way to get the uranium off, but this ship here will have plenty of storage for uranium. Yeah, see down here I have the fuel tanks. They're here. They're right there, and I'll be able to extend them. I should be able to extend them to there. I think this one's the same, actually. Yeah, it's got all this weight in here. I don't know if we still need that. We'll have to see here. Okay, so that's one part. That's one part kind of freed up. Let's spawn it in, see if it syncs. See if I missed anything. It's big, obviously. And I don't know, am I filling it up with fuel? I am, so I'm going to change that. Ooh, that sits nice. See, we're still a little heavy in the front, but once I get rid of those, should be all right. And then we have a helicopter on here too, just in case. So what I'll do is I'll change these rooms. That'll be like maybe a lounge, kitchen, something like that. So let's go back. Let's get the selection grid. Let's come in here. Yeah, look at all the layers. It's just a mess. Most of it. We'll cut that. And we will clear content. And then we'll go to the other side. And we will cut that. And we will clear that content. Let's see, what does that leave us with? Just a shell, eh? And then this will come down here. I can delete these pipes. Cool. Yeah, this ship's so massive, this one. All right. So let's change this. Where are we here? Fuel tanks. Change that to seawater. Yeah, because when you spawn it in and it's full of diesel, it'll load the system. And what tends to happen when it loads the system is you don't ever get that back. So every time you spawn it and despawn the ship, you're losing whatever it is. Could be 1,000 liters, could be 2,000 liters at a time. It adds up. And I discovered that early on when I was making a small ship, and I just had a little bit of diesel in storage, and I was spawning it, and all of a sudden I ran out of diesel, and I was caught. I said, man, what am I gonna do now? So. Look at that, sits nice. Nice, straight, right on, and we're not too low. Like, we're out of the water. We're not too low in the water, which is cool. Right, we'll fix this. Obviously, you still have a few more pipes to go, but that's cool. And the submarine will just, right, I could put a railing in here, and then I could just come right up underneath with the sub. That's going to be fantastic. Obviously, this area here, the generator area with the environment station, will change around a little bit. And I'll have to figure out how to unload the, I'll have to figure out it. Oh, yeah, the size of that. I'll have to figure out a few things. I guess there's no, these don't work anymore. Yeah, and then I can make a taller superstructure. A better bridge. It could be higher up in the water, right? This ship as it is won't flip. It's got so much displacement to it. It would be really hard, right? It's low, it's wide. Awesome. And it's got the helicopter on it, which I really like. So that way we can do, some other stuff too, right? While we're out and about. All this will have to move. Like, we got the spare magnets, but I'll have to get rid of the jet fuel containers. We're going to decommission this whole section. And then I don't know if we'll leave the habitat modules here in the back. Maybe we will. And maybe in the middle we'll build like a workshop or something. We'll have to figure that out, right? Obviously, the ship is way too big for one person. But with the helicopter and the submarine, it now becomes a really cool base. And I'm pretty sure I can fit enough diesel in here where I can sail to the Arctic. I just don't know if I have enough money to buy that much diesel yet. Right? I had $1 million. Now it's getting, now I only have $500,000, right? It's getting lower and lower and lower. So at some point here, I'm going to have to do some, there's some trickery that I'm able to do. I'll show it. Basically, I go to Donk Island and I'll unlock trains, and you can hook up the buy diesel terminal to the sell diesel terminal using like 5 rail cars and large winches, or the massive winches. And then what I do is I just go AFK and I just let it go all night long. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? I can't get oil. And it's way too slow to sail out to the oil rig and try and refine it. Like that, that stuff takes forever. So I suppose I could with this ship now, with the refinery that we have. I could sail out there. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So I think I'm going to end this one here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. And we will see you in the next one.